Arabella and Mandy and Marisol. Let's see, 34 people. Jeremy, Jeannie, Ryan.
All right, folks. Hey, thank you all for coming to our housing webinar. I wanted to, as folks keep trickling in, I want to encourage everyone to go ahead and put any questions that they might have for our three presenters in the chat, and then I will come back around and facilitate some of the Q&A session here at the end. But without further ado, we don't want to waste any time, and I will get us started with Leonard Jones, the Director of University Residences. Thanks.
Hello, everyone. I see there's 35 participants there. My name is Leonard Jones. I'm the Director of University Residences, campus housing it's known as, here at Western Washington University, and I'm doing this presentation with my colleagues, Vicki Vanderwerf, the Associate Director for Residence Life, and Karen Walker, the Associate Director for Occupancy, Communication, and Conference Services, and generally Jack of all trades, or Jill of all trades, I should say. Before we get started, I'm going to ask people to kind of just raise their hand if they are a parent or a student.
You want to make sure that you know what the full cost of attendance is and that you have your financial aid award prior to.
Oh, if you raise your hand, can you raise your hand for me if you are a parent? Or do you know how to do that in Zoom? But if not, there's some feedback that we're getting. I'll try to talk through that as well.
Leonard, apologies. It looks like you were accidentally muted there.
My goodness, don't know how that happened. But let me start over real quick. My name is Leonard Jones. I'm the Director of University Residences, also known as Campus Housing. I'm here with my colleagues today, the Associate Director for Residence Life, Vicki Vanderwerf, and the Associate Director for Occupancy, Communication, and Administrative Services, Karen Walker. We're going to talk a little bit about you're a student and living on campus, possibly with us at Western Washington. For a lot of parents that are out there, just the thought of your student living on their own as an adult for the first time is a one that you are still adopting to, as well as for them. But I want you to know that you have a experienced partner and connected and network partner in the three of us. Vicki, Karen, and I have worked. I tallied this up right before this meeting today. We have close to 75 years of college housing experience among the three of us, 75 years. Neither one of us are collecting Social Security yet, by the way. I want to make that clear. We've practiced the college housing profession, if you will, in Colorado, New York, North Carolina, Illinois, Michigan, Missouri, or Missouri, if you're from the eastern part of the state there, and Washington State. We have assigned probably in our history, in our career experience, over 100,000 students to campus housing assignments. I mentioned those, that experience, because with you, mom, dad, parent, we want to create a atmosphere, living atmosphere that is productive for your student. We have experience doing that very thing. And in a few minutes, Vicki and Karen will kind of go through those resources and those values that uh, we have in going about that work. Um, so without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Vicki and thank all of you for participating and signing in on this session today. Vicki?
Thanks, Leonard. So Liam is going to pull up our presentation so you can see a little bit about what we offer in on-campus housing. So we already made those introductions, so we're going to move forward to our agenda for today, which is really about our mission, why live on campus, the opportunities to live on campus. We'll talk a little bit about our housing communities and what we offer, as well as dining. Room and board pricing, our housing timeline, including our application and move-in day, as well as some of our contact information as well. So this presentation today isn't focused on COVID-19, but we know that a lot of you may have questions around the pandemic and where we're headed as a university and as a housing department. So we wanted to touch on that quickly. We are planning for increased occupancy in the fall and planning for more students to live on campus as conditions improve for the pandemic. We're planning on offering doubles, some triples, singles as well for students who want to live alone next year, but we'll have a lot of flexibility in room space and options. All of our decisions are really focused on safety of our students. So we take a lot of guidance and direction from the American College Health Association, as well as the CDC, as well as the governor, and guidelines set by the state of Washington. So please know safety is our #1 priority in terms of the pandemic and student safety in general. And one piece, if you have more questions around COVID-19 and how that changes their operations, we have a housing webinar coming up on Wednesday, April 28th at 5 p.m. We'll be sending out information on that soon. And also we have a lot of COVID-19 information about how we operate through the pandemic on our website. So you can check that out as well. So we really wanted to start off today and really talk about our vision and mission for university residences. It's not a requirement to live on campus here at Western. We really want on-campus housing to be more than a place to sleep and more than a place to eat. It's really about social connections, educational opportunities, and really a place to get connected here at Western. So in terms of our mission, we really try to provide an experience that provides something different and unique from an off-campus living environment. Those things include education on life skills like managing conflict, identifying resources, how to utilize those resources, taking care of your physical health or mental health, and then some of those basic skills like laundry and healthy eating. We also have increased support. A lot of that comes through our staffing. We have mechanisms to identify when a student's struggling, when a student's maybe not connecting here at Western, maybe not getting along with their roommate or going through a challenging situation. So we're here to help that student navigate, connect to resources on campus, and get through that challenge. We also have a lot of connection to campus resources. Our staff is really well connected to places like the Counseling Center, academic advising, career services. There's a lot of resources on campus. Sometimes that can be overwhelming, especially for our first year students. So our staff are really here to help students navigate the university, answer questions, and get them to the right place, and help them with that process along the way. And lastly, in terms of our mission, we really also think about how on-campus housing helps in terms of being access to resources, the library, study spaces in our halls, direct access to clubs and organizations to get connected, events and campus offices right here at Western. And I'll let Karen talk about some of the reasons why to live on campus. Oh,
Karen, sorry, really quickly, you're on mute.
So I'm happy to talk about why I live on campus. We have safety and convenience as one of our main offerings that secured buildings, university police, RAs do nightly rounds, 24 hours locked for the buildings, front desks, and RDs who live on campus in the buildings. So there's a lot of really great ways to sort of arrive as a freshman and feel safe and secure. The convenience of being here is also fabulous. You can do your homework in one of the collaborative spaces. You can get academic support and get tutorial center support. We try to have those things come into the buildings as well as to arrange folks to get those over at those centers. There's computer labs and professors' offices, academic intervention. There's the inclusion community assistant position and folks who really help care about how you're feeling connected and your connection with your fellow residents. Personal growth is a big part of the mission for our staff, and we're committed to help students not only grow and be personally successful, but also academically successful. There's leadership opportunities for those that want it. There's students who are involved in campus NRHH, which is National Residence Hall Honorary, or the RHA. And there's lots of positions for floor and building positions that you can do and get your leadership skills polished. There's staff that will help you, the resident advisors. There's over 80 advisors, and they live on your floor, and you will get to know them. And they're a great resource, and they're also someone who can direct you to things. If they don't know the answer, they can get you to the help you need, like the counseling center or the disability access center. So tons of stuff happening for you when you live in our buildings. And finally, I'd like to say that it's a significant factor in retention for freshmen to sophomore retention if you live on campus. It really gets you connected to campus and engaged, and you meet these friends you're going to know the rest of your life. And it's the number one reason students say they love living in the buildings, and not living can be a real detriment. So give it a whirl in terms of living on. That would be what I would say. Vicki, off to you.
Yeah, so one of the some of the ways that we really connect students is we really ask for their feedback about living on campus, what programs and events they want to see in the halls, both education and social. And really want to know about their overall satisfaction and experience living on campus. We want to make sure it's a positive one. So in terms of safety, we talk about physical safety. That's important to us. In addition to building skills, such as engaging in conflict, ensuring all students' identities and backgrounds are well respected and represented in the halls. And then, like Karen said, one of the biggest reasons students choose to live with us is those personal connections they make right from move-in day throughout the rest of the academic year. So this is feedback from an annual survey that we do each year. So students said the top 3 reasons for attending programs events are meeting people, learning, and then of course the free food doesn't hurt. We really emphasize getting involved in the community. We really work on education outside of the classroom. So we have trivia nights, open mic nights, floor and hall socials to connect students with other students and engage in activities for campus connection. But we also have educational events. We bring in academic advising for students to know what to think about when registering for classes for the next quarter. We have job fairs and information on how to seek a job on campus. We share information on how to get connected through Hall Council, which is kind of like our student government for the halls, and they help plan social events. We even bring in off-campus housing for information to know when signing a lease for the first time when students start looking for housing off campus. So there's that personal connection piece and relationship building, but also those educational events for skill building and development. We also wanted to talk a little bit about each of our housing communities. We have 2 different styles. One is traditional hallway style building, where there's many rooms on one floor with a lot of people to meet. In hallway buildings, the community bathrooms are just down the hall on each floor. So a lot of those you'll see in North Campus, Mathis and Nash, and then as well as Ridgeway, Sigma Alpha, Delta, Omega has a lot of those traditional style buildings or hallways. We also have suite style, where you get to know your suite mates, which is about 4 to 10 people that you get to know really well. And your bathroom is shared in your suite amongst your suite mates. Some of the unique features of each of the regions: South Campus, really close to the rec center, Fairhaven Dining Hall, close to a lot of classes. Buchanan Towers houses a lot of our returning students. There's kitchens right in the space. And then Burnham Wood is reserved for our returning students. They're apartment style buildings. And Fairhaven has really strong communities. They're more stack style buildings with about 50 students in each building, and students really connect in those buildings. North Campus, Viking Union, our student union is close by. It's really close to campus office and resources like the library. A lot of sit down and to go eating options. Halls on North Campus generally form very strong communities, have really strong hall councils, students who want to connect and really get involved on campus. The Ridge or Ridgeway, a lot of times students on the Ridge have an identity that they live on the Ridge and not just in an individual building. And I think that's because of the Ridge Commons community space is really helpful in building community and having events. The dining hall is right there and really helpful to engage and interact with other students who live on the Ridge.
So to get into the bedrooms and talk about those a bit, here's a picture of a pretty standard room. Everybody gets an extra long bed, and extra long sheets fit nicely on them. So that's my recommendation for your shopping. The beds have adjustable heights, so you can stack things under them, be up high or down low as you like. There's a desk, a chair, a closet, and a dresser. And then, of course, there's all the Wi-Fi, digital cable, TV services, and those kind of things. And then building amenities as you get outside of your room. There's an area desk or a building desk, depending on which building you're in. And there's laundry, community kitchens, study areas, computer labs, community lounges, and game rooms, and lots of bike parking and access to bus stops and things like that. Yeah.
One of the other main pieces we really focus on in housing is student learning outside of the classroom. So we have master's level hall directors, resident directors in each of our communities. They live and work in each of our buildings, like Karen mentioned earlier. And they're really there to be a resource for students, to help educate students on life skills. As a student currently here at Western, how to navigate the campus, but also be helpful in terms of graduation and seeking jobs after graduation. So we focus on 3 main learning goals in housing. The first is inclusive community building, which is really around connection with others, involvement on campus, finding connection points on campus outside the classroom. Also focuses on identity and lived experience and how one identifies and interacts with others. Career preparedness. So our students generally, their end goal is graduation and to get a job. So one of our focuses is on skill building, resume and cover letter writing workshops, internships, how to find job opportunities, but also other important skills, such as how to express your own thoughts and ideas in a way where others will hear you, managing classes, work, involvement opportunities in a social life, and how to do all of that together, and also how to live independently with some additional staff support in there as well. Personal wellness is a major goal for us and something we focus on a lot in terms of mental health, physical health, emotional health. And we recently started a podcast, and one of the last episodes was how to navigate life during a pandemic, and how to ask for help and seek out resources on campus that are here for students, and identifying skills needed to be successful in college. So that's another big focus for us. So that happens through one-on-one interactions with the resident advisors as well as the resident directors, programs and events that happen in the building, and then just general life on campus. We also have some theme communities which provide a unique smaller community within the larger hall community or larger hall team, students who living in one building. So some of the options that we have for next year, brand new, starting in fall 2021, is Black Affinity Housing. It's a space designed for Black identified students to live in community with those who have a shared identity, and really offers increased connection to Black identified faculty and staff on campus. We also have Pride Housing. It's a space designed for LGBTQ plus students. We work a lot in partnership with Western's LGBTQ plus director and others on campus to really create a welcoming and inclusive space for this community. Both of those programs will be in our new residence hall, Alma Clark Glass Hall, opening next fall. We also have Viking Launch, which is an early arrival program where students have the opportunity to move in early, really get a strong startup to college here at Western. They take classes and build connections with faculty and students early on. Those will be in Fairhaven and Kappa halls next year. And then lastly, we have Honors, which is housed over in Edens Hall, has small class sizes and really a unique opportunity to engage in discussion and get connected with faculty and staff on campus. Some of the other room choices we have are gender neutral rooms for students who are wanting a room assignment not based on gender. Substance-free areas promote lifestyles free of alcohol, marijuana, and other substances. We also have international areas. A lot of times our international students choose spaces with kitchens to cook. There's opportunities for international students to live together or be placed with a roommate, a domestic roommate from here in the US.
Roommate options. This is the exciting part. So we have a newer housing software tool that we call StarRez, and we've got a portal, and you applied through that. So you've already been to that and know about it. And your dashboard keeps you appraised of the things that you have asked for, the meal plan. And when you do a roommate option, it'll show there as well. And so our roommate manager tool allows you to invite someone you already know and pair up, and you become a roommate group. If you want to meet someone new, we enable you to have a bio and then your roommate questionnaire answers. And so you can kind of go through and look and see, oh, there's somebody who stays up late just like I do, or has a peanut allergy. So it's a really nice way to sort of have some personalized information, and then also like, how clean are they? And so if you find someone that way, you again make a group with them as well. And you can always double check everything on that dashboard in your portal. And then another way to pick a roommate is just during room selection, because you will pick your own room. And as you're cruising around looking through your building, some of the rooms will already have someone who's chosen to live in that room. And you can see their bio and their roommate questionnaire, and also chat online with them to see if you're a match. So, but if all of those things feel overwhelming, we are happy to put you in our assignment process that we do in late August, and we will find you a good roommate at that point. So that's kind of cool. And I did want to say that all of our dates and cancellations and transfers and moves all happen after you know the rates. So you'll have a full array of knowledge when you're picking where you want to live. Dining services, the bullets right there are pretty self-explanatory, but I did want to say there's a lot of folks who come and they're vegan or vegetarian or gluten-free, or they have allergies. We have a fabulous executive chef and a dietitian, and most students can make an appointment with them and negotiate and really personalize how they eat and what they get when they go into the dining commons. We have all you care to eat dining centers, and they are open continuously. So when you go in, it's a swipe on your card and that's a meal. Some folks get the unlimited plan so they can go in and get coffee or whatever they want whenever they feel like it. And we also have little eateries around campus as well. And the dining system operates those as well. And so you can use your dining dollars and get a bagel or a cup of coffee in that same way. And I think that next slide has a list of the locations and what they are. And I see our time is moving, so I'm just going to move right to a real quick synopsis of room and board pricing. We every year evaluate our projects, our renovation, the cost of living increases, and then we have to balance all of those things with keeping a large portion of our rooms at our lowest rate possible. And so that always occurs during spring quarter. And then the Board of Trustees approves rates in early June. And then we then have our June 15th deadlines for folks to start paying and making decisions or transferring rooms if they want to meet those deadlines and to have full knowledge of what they're picking. And then there's a real quick slide on housing timeline and priority dates, which is on our website. So you don't need to write this down or anything. May 1, just make sure you have your housing application in before May 1. And then that is our priority deadline. We use the day you applied for admission as our priority date for letting you go into room selection and pick your room. So that's already done. You don't have to worry about that. And that just follows you follows you to housing, and we use that. And then I know a lot of people have a lot of roommate questions. There'll be another chance to ask those questions, but you can, if you're in a roommate pair, you can each put yourselves into a room. So you both have the option, even though you've told us where you'd like to live, you can look around and pick whatever room works for the both of you or for you as an individual. So it's a fun time.
All right, folks, thank you very much. Unfortunately, we ran into a little bit of technical difficulties. I see all of these questions in the chat, and I promise you that I will get to every single one of these and I will post on our website. I want to make sure that our panelists have a chance to get a sip of water before the next webinar. But all the answers to your questions, I think that we got to most of them in the slides, but I will address every single one of these questions and post them onto the website by Monday. Thank you all so much for coming, and we will talk to you soon, and we can't wait to see you next fall. All right, thank you.